Some people spend their lives pouring into others until they run empty. Others spend their lives focused only on themselves, yet they still feel unfulfilled. Meaningful living requires both. Many people today are struggling with imbalance. Some are constantly giving while neglecting themselves completely. Others spend years chasing comfort, achievement, or self improvement, yet they still feel disconnected and empty inside. One leads to burnout, the other often leads to emptiness. But meaningful living requires something deeper: being filled and feeling others. We were never meant to only consume life or only carry everyone else endlessly. We need both renewal and contribution, growth and service, receiving and giving. Hi, I'm Jodelyn Mitra, or Jody, founder of F.I.L.L. If I were to describe myself, I'd say I'm still learning, still growing, and still becoming. I see myself as a pilgrim, someone continually journeying through discovery, struggle, healing, purpose, and transformation. Throughout my life, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on emotions, thoughts, identity, purpose, passions, healing, contribution, relationships, and what it truly means to live a meaningful life. Those reflections didn't come from theory alone. They came from real experiences, moments of clarity, seasons of confusion, failures, growth, questions, and the quiet process of rebuilding from within. And somewhere along the way, I realized something important. I had already been living through a framework long before I ever gave it a name. F.I.L.L. was never created overnight. It slowly emerged through lived experience, intentional reflection, and the ongoing pursuit of becoming a healthier, more purposeful human being. F.I.L.L. is deeply personal to me because it was shaped through many of my own struggles. Learning how to stay emotionally grounded, learning how to live intentionally, learning how to align my values with my daily actions, learning what genuinely fuels my life, and learning how my life can positively impact others. Over time, these reflections began connecting together and eventually became what is now called F.I.L.L, Framework for Intentional and Legacy Building Living. Even though every person's journey is different, I believe many of us share something deeply human: the desire for our lives to matter, the desire to grow, the desire to become whole, and often, the desire to leave something meaningful behind for others. At the heart of F.I.L.L is a simple truth: we can only give what we have. If we want to give hope, we need to be filled with hope. If we want to give wisdom, we need to pursue wisdom. If we want to create meaningful change, we need to build the courage, compassion, skills, and capacity to do so. A meaningful life is not simply a life that is full. It is a life intentionally filled with what matters, and then poured out for the good of others. The F.I.L.L framework is built on two core movements: to be filled and to fill others. To be filled means we intentionally receive, grow, heal, learn, rest, reflect, and build what is needed within us. To fill others means we intentionally encourage, serve, teach, support, advocate, and use what we have to create positive change. F.I.L.L is both inner growth and outward action. We are filled not just for ourselves, but so what is good within us can overflow into the lives of others. F.I.L.L also stands for foundation, intention, legacy, and living. Foundation asks, what am I building my life on? This includes values, identity, faith, character, purpose, and the truths that guide our decisions. Without a strong foundation, it becomes easy to chase what is urgent and miss what is truly meaningful. Intention asks, am I living in purpose? A meaningful life does not happen accidentally. We choose what fuels us, what receives our attention, and how we use our time, energy, and resources. To live intentionally is to live by design, not by default. Legacy asks, what will remain because I lived? Legacy is not only what we leave behind someday, it is also what we leave in people every day. Through our words, our actions, wisdom, compassion, service, and example, what fuels us eventually flows through us. Living asks, how do I actually live this? Feel is not just something to think about. It's something to practice through daily choices, relationships, work, service, creativity, and contribution. Living is where purpose becomes practice. Personally, I use F.I.L.L as a way to check whether my mission and actions are aligned. I ask myself, what is filling me? What am I building within myself? Am I growing in the wisdom, skills, and capacity that I need? And how am I using what I have to feel others? Even this channel is connected to F.I.L.L. Some videos focus on reflection, growth, healing, faith, balance, and capacity building. Others focus on service, advocacy, culture change, social impact, and helping people flourish. Feeling others is not only about giving material help. Sometimes it means helping reshape the world around people so they can feel seen, valued, and supported. As this channel grows, I invite you to journey with me. Every video will connect to one of the two movements of F.I.L.L, being filled or feeling others. You can also visit F.I.L.L.life to explore free reflections, tools, resources, and practices designed to help people reflect, grow, build capacity, and create meaningful impact. These resources are free because I want this work to be part of my legacy. My hope is that more people will use them, share them, and help grow the F.I.L.L movement. F.I.L.L is an invitation to live differently, to be filled with what is good, to build what is needed within, to live intentionally, to leave a meaningful legacy, and to feel others in ways that create positive change in the world. If you know someone who may need encouragement, purpose, balance, or hope, please share this with them. Because the goal is not simply to live a full life, but a life intentionally filled with what truly matters.